The thing that's really striking about it from the get-go is the language. Most films don't aspire to a sense of originality in their language. You know, it's something in the theater you see a lot, when no matter virtually any playwright worth their salt has kind of their own use of language and playfulness of character and world building. But for convenience and for audiences and for mass appeal, in general, cinema has a very, what they call naturalistic hit on language, which is just try to make it as easy as possible to be digested by as many different people as possible. And what you lose then is a sense of specificity or character or originality. And so there's a poetry to the language of this. It almost feels like Beowulf or something. I remember that's what I thought when I read this. Oh, this aspires to be a kind of grand poem about a Viking king. You know, it was really beautiful. The story is, pretty simple. The kind of classic son losing a father and trying to make sense of the universe and finding his place in the context of the world without a father, without a role model, without a mentor. And that's a kind of very old story. It's even older than Hamlet. And so my character in a lot of ways is a symbol of fatherhood and a symbol of something lost. I had a sense that I would like for him to be kind of the way the younger generation often sees the older generation as having more integrity and having faced a harder world, and admiring them for that. But I don't know, it's difficult to, one of the beautiful things about this movie is a sense of mystery. You know, that's what poetry can achieve that most television or magazine articles or, they sometimes say too much, and in saying too much, you limit things. And what's beautiful about this is just the mystery of it. I find him incredibly interesting character. My character thinks so well of himself that he can't imagine other people don't love him. You know, I don't think he could ever imagine that his wife would be unfaithful or that his brother would be jealous or envious of him. I think he's so confident in his position and his worldview that he's completely blindsided by this betrayal. And you could see that level of ego as narcissism, or you could see it as a projection of his own goodwill. I don't know what it is, but I find it extremely interesting. Something I find incredibly beautiful about what this script does, which is imagine that the gesture is also a spiritual counselor. There's great wisdom in that I've probably learned more from comedians in my life than I had from any kind of guru, whether it's, George Carlin or Chris Rock or Richard Pryor, some of the greatest thinkers of the modern era have been comedians. So I love this notion that the court gesture is his spiritual counselor. That's very wise. And so that's an exciting relationship to me. Also, we get to basically do acid together, which, something I've never done on screen. It's very exciting to drink peyote with Willem Dafoe and get naked and howl like a wolf. All the best directors I've ever worked with lead by example, meaning that they're so immersed in the world that it's contagious. Robert gave me a ton of books and literature and videos to watch about Vikings and played Viking music, and I have a small part in this movie. But his passion for every detail makes you realize that somebody cares. Somebody cares whether it's done right or done wrong. A lot of times you get a sense that people don't care, people aren't going to notice. And, that's the thing about Kazan, they used to say about Elia Kazan, he just noticed everything. He noticed everything, and that's why the work is so good, is it's each detail in and of itself doesn't matter, but 1,000 details has a gravitational pull towards excellence. And Robert has that. Here's the thing about Alex is that, I mean, he's given Schwarzenegger a run for his money. I mean, he looks better than Conan. I mean, I don't know how the hell he did it, but to have somebody, he's an incredibly talented young man, and he comes from a family of great actors, and he has such a relaxed demeanor about performance. It's just wonderful to be around, and to see him dedicated to fulfilling this kind of vision. He's almost made a sculpture of his body, you know? I mean, it's like Michelangelo or something out there. And I know how hard that is. I've had a few roles in my life where that was asked of me, and it's just incredible mental discipline. You know, if you're supposed to look like an athlete, you have to live like an athlete. You know, it's not a costume you can put on. And so that's very painful, and it takes incredible mental discipline and dedication. And he's done it with a smile on his face. Rob's sense of clarity about the movie he sees in his head is very helpful. And kind of, as I'm a student in the Willem Dafoe School of Acting, it becomes very easy. Once there's a path where you know the stage is, this is where the stage is, this is where the light is, this is where your performance goes, everything becomes very simple. It's so easy to do a good job as an actor in this movie because the world is so real. When the world is not real, the actor has to expend a tremendous amount of energy to distract you from all these fake costumes and fake sets and bad photography. And when the photography is excellent, and the costumes are excellent, and the production design is excellent, well, then the actor disappears. It's all happening by itself. It's really wonderful. It's a Viking Hamlet. I mean, for me, I'm already sold. I want to see a Viking Hamlet. I mean, give me a break. It's got the most amazing language and some of the most amazing imagery that I've seen on any production I've ever worked on.